Join Sid for this edition of It's Supernatural.
I had an hour off for lunch. I worked across the street. Always come home. I would make the same thing every day, a bologna sandwich on white bread with mayonnaise. And so I'm standing there with my bologna sandwich and I feel breeze and I'm thinking, okay, who let the window open? This is Rochester, New York in the middle of winter. And I open my eyes because of a breeze and I'm standing on a hillside. And the next thing I do is I look up and Jesus is coming down and I'm going, this is not a dream. Or is it a dream? And so I picked up a clump of grass and I put it in my mouth because I thought, if this is a dream, I won't taste it. And it was grass. And I spit it out. It tasted terrible. I pinched myself. And then he stands there and then suddenly he comes and he looks at me face to face. And I'm filled with shame because all I know is what I'm not. I haven't yet been told who I am. And he looks at me and he goes, I love you with a wild love. I thought, wild love? I've been brought up in a church where you do things decently and in order, and wild doesn't fit. And he heard my thinking, and he looks at me and goes, yes, it is wild, because wild means it's untamed and it's uncontrolled by man. No man controls my love for you. And then I went, as wild as you want, God, as wild as you want.
He actually said that to you.
Oh, he said that to me, looking right at me. And there he is, and I'm looking directly in his face, and I can't describe it. It was the largest smile I'd ever seen on a human being. And he's looking at me. And then I was filled with shame. I put my head down, and he takes my head in his hands, and he says, look at me. Look at me. And now I'm face to face looking at him. I know this is not a dream. I don't know what it is. And I'm looking right into his face. He goes, listen, I love you. And I went, okay. He goes, no, you don't get it. I love you. For what you're called to do and for what you're supposed to do with your life, you need to know this. You need to know how deeply I love you. I went, okay. He goes, good. And he took my head and put it on his chest. And he just began to rock me. And I'd never had a man's hands on me that didn't hurt me. And he's just holding me and holding me. And suddenly a ball of fire shot out of his chest, hit my chest. I found myself back in my room. My bologna sandwich was over there. And I'm weeping and weeping and weeping.
Now, this experience that Chris Dupre had was so wild that he took, if you remember, he took a piece of grass, a clump of grass, and put it in his mouth. So, is this real? What is going on? Well, after he woke up and cried, what did you have in your mouth?
Well, I woke up, I went back and wiped my tears off, went across to work, and you know, somebody said, as soon as I said something, they said, what'd you have to eat? And I said, well, I had a bologna sandwich. And they go, well, you've got all sorts of green stuff in your teeth there. I said, what? And I picked up, and there was a clump of grass that came out of my teeth. I don't have grass in my living room.